Do you want to create more peace, more joy, feel more confident in your life? I'm Michele Thill with Newland Wellness, and this is for women who are on their own for the first time and over 50. I would like to share with you, as I have been, tips and thoughts and ideas to help you create the life that you desire and deserve, especially at this midpoint in life and when you are now on your own through divorce, or it might be the case of a death of a partner and you're wondering, now what? I look to help you realize that something more. And as we're living in the world right now that seems anything but peaceful and seems everything but stressful, right? Can you relate? You may be feeling it in your own world, in your own life. And then there's the world and what's going on out there. And we can't control any of it. All we can control is ourselves and the meaning we give to what's happening, and then how we handle what's happening. Are we going to react in the same old way or start acting in new ways and handle things differently? So if you're looking for that new way to be, I'm here for you. And I want to today share another book with you that has been so helpful for me. And I feel like the times that we are in right now, both personally and worldwide, it's good to get outside sources that help us see a bigger picture. And this source is Karen Noe, and her book, We Consciousness. And today I want to tap into one of her chapters, the importance of self-love. And in this time, does it seem selfish to focus on self-love? Absolutely not. Because again, we can't affect what's happening on the outside, but we can tap into what's happening inside us and start working and growing and changing and help ourselves to find peace and to realize that comes from within. So Karen shares that with self-love, when you love yourself, it's the first essential step to creating peace in your life and therefore in the lives of others. She said, when you practice self-love on a regular basis, your whole life will change. Now, she writes this, and I've actually been living this. So I'm here to say, I totally agree, and that's why I'm sharing this. You'll realize that you are entitled to the magnificent blessings in the world that are there to be offered to you. Even though you might not feel or see them right now, there's a lot of good going on out there. You'll be more fulfilled, more independent, and don't you, especially at this time in your life, need to feel more fulfilled and to be okay with being independent. You're not alone. You're independent now. And you'll be much happier. It's really a win-win for all involved, because when you're feeling better, when you're coming from a place of more peace, think of all the interactions that you then have throughout the day with strangers, with family, with friends, and how those interactions can change by the way you are handling yourself. So she gives 12 advantages to self-love. What are the benefits? Why even go down this path? And what I'd like to do is cover the first 6 today, and then I'm going to come back and next week and cover the next 6. I want to break it down so that you have time to digest what I'm saying and also apply, because information, they say information is power. Information is part power. It's only more information until you start implementing the information and you start coming from that place and you start taking action and start applying that knowledge. That's where the true power comes in. And these are really beautiful steps that you can start. You could take one a day and put a focus on it. Or you could spend the week focusing on all 6, because they do weave and go together. So the first advantage that Karen brings up of why it's important for us to have self-love. And again, this is really for everyone at every age. But let's apply it now with the wisdom we have at our midlife ages, and with the fact that we now have time in our lives to have more of a focus on ourselves. I like to emphasize this sort of information because we've been conditioned through our culture to take care of everyone else and not ourselves. And I'm here to tell you, no one's going to take care of you but you. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all ultimately need to take care of ourselves, because I can't help you. You have to help you. You can't help someone else. They have to help themselves. So here's the point where I'm guiding you on how to help yourself and bring in more peace, more joy, and feel more confident in this time in your life. So the first advantage to doing this is you will make your own happiness a priority and not be swayed by external conditions. There is so much going on out there, right? And so much of it is negative. So much of it is focused on what's wrong. But there's a lot of what's right. We just don't see it because we don't hear about it. And I'm asking you to start I want to say muting out, if you will, all that's out there. All the drama, all the negativity. I'm not saying take a blind eye to it. What I'm saying is don't get sucked up in it. The more we look for the negative and what's wrong, the more we're going to find it. Can you relate? Does that resonate with you? You start looking for how things are going wrong, and all of a sudden the reticular activating system, which is the part of your brain that filters, starts finding wrong. And then that before you know it, that's like all you're seeing is wrong. And we live in the world where there's such a focus on that. Especially if you're someone who has recently been through a divorce, you can see a lot of wrong in things and a lot of negative and a lot of drama. And I'm asking you to step back from that and start seeing the good that's happened, that is happening, that can happen in your personal world and in the outside world. And when you start putting a focus on that, then the Raz starts filtering and finding more good for you to see. And right then and there, you start feeling more peace, because you start feeling more safe. You know, no matter what is going on out there, I ultimately feel everything always works out for me. And that's a mantra, an affirmation, an incantation, a direction of energy that you could start saying throughout your day. Everything always works out for me, or things are working out for me. And the more you say that, the more you're rewiring your brain and changing your thoughts to focus on how things are working out. The more you relax, the more you find peace, the more you will realize that even though it might not look it in the moment, ultimately things work out for us. So that's the first one right there. Don't be swayed by the external out there, because there's a lot of noise out there. And that might be you cutting out the news, cutting down on social media, and just going more within. The next one is you'll look out for your best interest, because you realize that you're worth all the good that is or could be coming into your life and will be coming into your life. You see that worth there. That even though you might have been left, and maybe for somebody else, that doesn't affect who you are as a person. And that there's that self-worth there. That you are lovable. And that things just didn't work out as maybe you thought they would. And that's okay. Better things to come. If you don't start taking care of you and seeing the self-worth, who's going to see that? The third one is your confidence increases, because when you start feeling more self-worth and you start loving yourself more, you know, you start realizing, hey, things might not be perfect. I'm not perfect and no one is, but I'm doing the best that I can. You know, aren't we all doing the best that we can in the moment, given the circumstances? Later on, we may look back and wish we would have done things differently, but in the moment, we're all doing the best that we can. And when you start realizing this, and you start having more peace, and you start tapping into joy, you know, the happiness that's out there, the good that's out there, and you start feeling better, your confidence also rises, and you start to feel a bigger picture into what's happening in your life. Can you resonate with that? Maybe your life didn't go as planned. I know mine didn't. I thought when I met my ex, when I was 21, that my life was all set up for me and that we were gonna grow old together and everything. And life didn't go as I had expected. And ultimately, it's okay, because it's going even better, because I realized that the life I had wasn't as great as it could have been. Can you relate to that? There were things that just didn't work out as I had originally anticipated. So I've been divorced now for 10 years. So especially if you're someone newer on this journey, I'm here to shine some light and give you some hope of, I know what it's like in your shoes right at the moment. And I'm here to tell you, you're gonna be okay. The next one is, you will make the priority to achieve your dreams. And that's another thing. How many of us had dreams? What did you wish you were when you were younger? What did you dream you would be when you grew up? That life then got in the way and stopped you. Or maybe you found you were very creative. You loved to paint or do photography or dance or whatever it might be, and then you grew up, right? And that was for the younger years. All of a sudden you had all the responsibilities of being married and having a job, having kids, all of that stuff. And those dreams got stuffed away, and you were just living in the life that you were living. And now you have an opportunity to take a step back and say, what would I love? What would I love to do? What would light me up? Maybe it is getting back into photography or painting or dancing, or maybe you're looking to create a business or write a book or whatever that might be. What would light you up? What's some dream you had when you were younger that now can resurface because you're open to possibilities and opportunities at this stage of your life? The next one, number 5, is you will attract loving situations and people into your life. Now, I want you to think about this. Your thoughts and emotions attract like onto itself. So like attracts like, right? So if you're thinking loving, positive thoughts about yourself, you will draw affectionate, optimistic individuals and circumstances to you. And that makes such sense. Again, it has to do with that RAS, reticular activating system. The more you're around, the more you're feeling good about yourself, the more you are more centered, more balanced. You're kinder. You're nicer, not only to yourself, but others. You have compassion for yourself and others. And you start giving yourself and others a break. And when you start coming from this place, you start to find that you're in conversations with people who are also appreciating you and respecting you, and who are also uplifting and more positive. And you start to attract more of that in your life instead of all the negativity and the complaining. You might even find that some of the people that are in your life might fall away because you're running on a different vibration. And that might sound scary. You might not want to let go of some friends, for example. But you get to the point where you start realizing, gosh, we just are not connecting like we once did. And the relationship is not the same. And it's better for both of us to move on. I've had that happen with several people in my life. And there was a time that for that bond, that season, that reason. And sometimes you fall away from some people, and then you attract new people in your life. I find when I come from a place of being nicer, and I work with the public every day in my day job, I end up attracting so many nice people, people that may be frustrated by a situation that's happened, but they don't take it out on me, So think about that. When you're kinder and nicer to yourself, you're projecting that out there, and you start attracting that back in. The last one I'm going to share with you for today, number 6, is you will make healthier choices for yourself. And being a board certified health and wellness coach, and also certified as a functional medicine health coach, I'm all about this one. Making healthier choices. You realize your body is a temple, and that you want it to function at its optimal level. So you're making sure you're fueling your body consistently with healthier choices. And then occasionally, not so healthy choices instead of vice versa. You're making sure you're getting in that sleep because you realize your body needs to rest and repair. You're moving. You're realizing that sitting around is not helping your structure, your skeleton. And so you get up and you move more. You make sure you're getting in plenty of water, not just coffee, teas, sodas, bubbly water, but actual H2O. And I preferred filtered water over bottled water because of the BPAs, the plastics that can leak into it. And you are really taking care of you. That's so important because we are all getting older, and that's a good thing, but we don't have to feel old. We don't have to fall apart. We can actually be stronger, more energetic, and more vibrant. And I will tell you, I feel better now than I did in my 20s or 30s when I was a young mother struggling and not eating well, not sleeping well, not taking care of me, taking care of everyone else. And now is our time to shine, to rise up. And as we do, we influence, we become a role model for our families and friends. And they may even decide to join us on the journey. And it goes from there. So these are the first 6 steps. I'll be back with the next 6. Take it in. What can you start applying right away? Baby steps. And see what you notice. There's so many benefits. If you like what you're hearing, please like, follow, subscribe. There's so much more to come. And I also have a monthly membership if you'd like to go at a deeper, more personal level with me. The link is here for you to check it out. Until next time, you've got this. I'm excited for you. Be well.